How's it going, everyone? This is your host, Jeffrey Pinzon, and welcome to another episode of Unleash Your Power. In today's interview, I believe that if you guys are in a quest of learning how to become a better human being, learning how to become better at communicating, learning how to build a business from nothing to building a massive empire, and not only that, but being able to become a better leader for others, but most importantly yourself, I believe that in this interview, you're going to be able to get a lot of tools that you guys could go out there and implement today. And hopefully this inspires you to go out there and activate that trailblazer that you have within you. So without further ado, I have the great pleasure of sitting down with Mr. Daniel Alonzo. My man, thank you so much for having me in your house,
Jeffrey?
Beautiful house.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity. Can you tell us a little bit about who is Daniel Alonzo, so the audience can get to know a little bit about who you are, your background, where you're from?
So I'm Daniel Alonzo. I've been in financial services now for 23 years. I've been in business.
Wow.
And got started. A buddy of mine told me, "Hey man, check out this business. You know, you're gonna get rich. You're gonna make a lot of money and travel the world and you know, become financially independent." And I thought it was all bullshit. I mean, I didn't believe any of it. So for 4 months, he kept telling me to come to this meeting, come to this meeting, come to this meeting. And for 4 months, I stood him up.
Wow.
And finally, I just showed up, you know, and I watched this guy, and he was, you know, telling me I was going to make $100,000 while at the time I was making $7 an hour. And
Wow.
he told me I was going to make $100,000 a year. And so I just thought it was such bullshit.
They
you
call
know?
it bullshit right
Oh,
away, right?
right away, you know? And then, but for whatever reason, when that meeting was over, for whatever reason, I thought in my mind, that guy puts on his pants like I put on my pants. So what's the difference? The only difference that I could think about in my mind is the fact that he had 14 years head start on me, because he had been in the business for 14 years. So I thought, man, if I could just learn and figure out what he knew, then I could get what he had.
Right.
And that's when my mind shifted. And I started to think, instead of, oh man, it's bullshit, I started to think, wait a minute, shit, I just need to learn what he knows so I can get what he's got. And that's what made me say yes, and, you know, at least to give it a shot.
What were you doing prior to that $7 job that you were working?
So I was working in a little mom and pop business, and we used to buy blood from like blood banks, and then we would test them out for different specificities, and then we would basically sell them to other like cancer treatment centers and big, you know, City of Hope and places like that. And so, and I was basically his like little gopher, you know. I would go pick up packages, I would help him with some of the computer work, and I mean, you know, the greatest part about the job is the fact that I used to overlook the Glendora golf course, the country club. I used to, you know, like overlook the golf course. So I used to watch people play golf every day while I was working. And then when he would leave the office, I would, you know, take a nap or watch people play golf for a couple hours. I mean, seriously, I mean, I was one of those people where I dreamt every day of being free. Like, I hated being in a job. I hated being in an office, man. It was like, I got tired,
Right.
you know?
While you were doing that job and you were seeing that scenery of the golf course, did you ever see like, is this possible for me? Did you ever question it? Like,
Yeah, every day. I mean, every day I thought in my mind, like, why is it that they have this nice life, you know? Like, why is it that they get off on Monday morning? Like, why am I working on Monday? Why are my parents working on Monday morning? But yet that guy plays on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and and then his wife comes out and plays on Monday and Tuesday and
Right.
Wednesday. It's like, I didn't get it.
Right.
Like, because I grew up in a not so good neighborhood in El Monte, California, and, you know, a lot of bars on the windows and
Right,
things
right,
like that.
right.
And I just thought in my mind, like, why is it that all these other people have such a better life? I want a better life. I want a great life. And I think that, the law of attraction, I believe in the law of attraction, not in a magical, mystical, like bullshit way, but in like, I believe that we're attracting things into our life constantly. We're attracting things. So as I'm dreaming and thinking, why not me? Like those kind of questions, I believe I was attracting my buddy to come to talk to me about, hey, you need to do this business. And then for me to say yes, that just opened up a world of attraction, people, friends, relationships, all this, and then eventually lots and lots of money.
I think it's so powerful what you said right now, Daniel, because you said that you were throwing it out there, right? You were throwing that energy out to the universe, and the universe was conspiring to give you that, right? That's why he was, right away for 4 months, that guy was on top of you. And the moment that you say yes, it's like the universe like, finally this guy said yes.
And then the crazy thing though, but I mean, think about this for a second, right? But think about this, right? So the guy recruits me. He's one of my best friends growing up. Seriously, we were friends forever. He recruits me. A year later, he quits. So this guy loses out on $400,000 a year because he quit. So imagine that. Just life. I mean, we were young. We were 21 years old, man. I mean, so he didn't know really what he wanted to do in his life, and he made a lot of bad choices. But I just think what's interesting, it's almost like the universe conspired for that guy to get me in, to change my life, and then he just went away. And literally, he moved to another state. And I didn't see him for like 20 years.
He was the vessel for you to, all right, I've been seeking out that I want something great. There's something more for me. And boom, he was right there. He connected to you, and then it was up to you after that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had to take the ball. I mean, he gave me the ball, but I had to, take it into the end zone.
So when you got the ball, what were some hurdles, some obstacles that you encountered, especially being so young and being in the industry that you're part of? Like how did that play against you, and how did that play for you?
Well, I mean, to me as a young man, I was able to ask people for help. Put my ego aside, acted like I knew nothing, and I just asked people, "Hey, man, will you help me?" And a lot of people jumped on and they helped me. A lot of people said yes. I was at an appointment recently, and and it was actually a principal and a superintendent. So I'm sitting at an appointment, and principal, like I was a bad student in school, right? I hated school, right? Hated school. And I'm sitting now, I'm like at the kitchen table with like a principal of a school and a superintendent. And then you find out that a lot of them don't know a lot about money, And but what's interesting is that as I'm going through that process with them, it reminded me how I really got started. I asked my aunt, she was a secretary at a high school, and I said, will you help me get, and of course she felt sorry for me because I'm struggling, trying to get this thing going, and so she got me a meeting with the principal of the high school. And when I got that appointment, I convinced him, influenced that guy to let me speak to all the teachers. So I'm only like 6 months a year in the business, right? I'm like wet behind the ears still. And I'm teaching all of these teachers, okay, about financial stuff, financial concepts, right? I'm broke. I'm like, I got no money, right? And I'm teaching these guys all these concepts. But what happened is that they believed me, and then they started following some of the principles that, now granted, I mean, these were proven principles that have been used for years, and I taught them the rule of 72. I taught them how insurances worked. I mean, I knew my shit. I'm not saying I was didn't know anything, but what was interesting is that most of these teachers didn't know anything. Even though I was only 6 months a year in the business, I knew more than they knew. But they gave me the business. A lot of them, I bet you, they gave me the business because they just felt sorry for me. So I used being young, and I used to my advantage versus being scared.
And the beautiful part is that you thought outside the box. Like usually, like when you're setting up appointments, with people that in the beginning, right? You thought outside the box, and you're like, hey, let me get a group of people right away, and let me talk to them, let me connect with them, That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and I still did I still did my warm market, and I talked to my friends and family first. And again, like my aunts, my uncles, my parents, my neighbors, everybody that I knew, they were all my clients. I mean, I wrote a lot of sales in my, like with my trainer, in my training. And I didn't make very much money to be able to do that. But I did it because I was trying to learn the business. I didn't give a shit about the money. I didn't care about the money right off the bat. I still had my $7 an hour job that was at least paying my car payment. And so that's all I worried about. And so for me, I just wanted the knowledge, man. Give me the knowledge so that I can take that knowledge and I can go apply it, use it, and then win with it. But I think a lot of people, they worry so much about the money right off the bat. They never really get the proper advice from the proper mentors, and they don't really get the proper coaching because they want to do it by themselves. They think if I do it by myself, then I'll make more money. I said, wait a minute, no. Pay a coach. Pay those people. Give them all the commissions. Whatever you got to do, just steal their information so that if you got the knowledge, then you can, because you're only in training for a very small piece of time in your entire career. Think about it. My career has been 23 years so far. I was only in training for what, 2 months, 3 months, maybe maximum. So 3 months of giving up some commissions, right? To steal all that valuable knowledge and then applying it for the next 23 years. I mean, it's been worth almost $20 million to me.
Wow, that's beautiful. Investing 2 to 3 months and learning from the people that already made the mistakes, so you not do the mistakes.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
That's powerful.
Yep.
So what are some things that in the beginning, when you were starting your career, that were challenges for you, as far as communication, or what were some things that showed up that made you question, like, is this something really that I want to do, or am I just gonna dabble with it?
I mean, the truth is I had nothing else to do. I mean, this was it. I was gonna do it. I never thought quit for all these years. I know people go through ups and downs and things like, but I never thought quit, because where am I gonna quit to? That's what I kept thinking. Because one of the best things I ever did was I wrote down 150 goals of a lifetime. So when I got
When
in,
did you
man,
do that?
What's that?
When did you do that?
Like right off the bat. I mean, I think it was January 1996. I wrote down 150 things that I wanted to do in my life, and I still have them. I mean, they're in my iPad. I mean, I have all of my notes, and they're all written. And I had these on a piece of paper. I stuck them up on my wall. They were on my wall for 10 years. My first 10 years, they were on my wall. I used to have a goal sheet that I would put in my wallet, that I had it all folded up in my wallet, and every time I would get a free minute, I would pull it out and I would read it. And it was exactly the maybe the top 5 things. And actually, I have the note in a frame in my office, actually.
Wow.
That original note that I kept in my pocket for 5 years. But I don't know, man. I mean, people ask me, like, so what were the challenges? There was not. I mean, it was the normal stuff. I mean, what was it? I was scared to talk to people. I was afraid of what people thought about me. I thought about that kind of stuff. But the truth is, I just kept going no matter what. Because what am I going to quit to? If I quit, I got to go back and get a job, and I'll never accomplish most of those 150 things in my life if I go back to a job, because they'll never pay me enough to be able to do those type of things that I wanted to do.
Working with your wife, because I know that you and her have built a business, and I'm curious to know, how has that been like, and how has your connection with your family been as a result of you guys building a business together and being together all the time and motivating each other, pushing each other to level up your life, pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning it was hard, man. I mean, it was really, really difficult, because when you're working with your high school sweetheart,
Oh, wow.
16 years old, we've been together since we were 16, and when you're working with somebody like that you grew up with, they look at you differently than the way you see yourself. Because I was self-improving, 21 years old. Well, shoot, I was self-improving even before that, and I just wanted a better life, Jeffrey, man. I mean, I just wanted a better opportunity to have a better life. I wanted to have freedom. I wanted to live in a house like this. I wanted to not have to get up and go to work every day. I never wanted anybody to have their thumb on me. And so I was so motivated. But she was 21. We were both 21, but I was growing quickly. And
So she wasn't in the business?
well, I mean, she was, but I mean, it was only because I recruited her and I said, hey, man, let's, I think it was to help me get my promotion that I got her in. So, but she was not active in the business. I mean, she was not dedicated to doing the business all the time with me. And matter of fact, she tried to hold me back in a lot of, ways because she wasn't motivated. She wasn't growing with me. She wasn't self-improving with me. And so until that time, it was very difficult. And but I drew the line in the sand, man. I mean, I was young, and I would tell a lot of people out there right now that if they're going through that same situation, you better draw the line in the sand, because a negative partner, a partner that's not supporting you, or a partner that's not motivated with you, they will hold you back. And that could be a long life, man. That could be a long, crappy existence if you're always trying to fight somebody to try to get to your goals, because your goals are hard enough to get to anyways, right? But if you're got to fight to get to your goals and you got to fight your spouse or your partner at the same time,
double the work, right?
Dude, that's like insanity. You know what I mean? And so the minute that she changed, the minute that she started to adapt, the minute that she started to realize that I was doing this not because I wanted to be away from her. I wasn't working to get away from her. I was working so I could build a great life for all of us, right? And I thought about, the crazy thing is I thought about my kids before they were even born. Like, I saw my children. I saw myself on Monday morning going to the fair, riding on the, bumper cars with my 3-year-old son. You know what I mean? While everybody was at work, I saw myself doing that, even when I was 21 years old, when my son wasn't here.
Wow.
And I believe that by working hard together as a unit, me and her, we could accomplish that. So it was a constant, it was a battle in the beginning, but it was a constant me selling her that dream. That one day I'm going to get you that unlimited American Express card so you could buy the purses, so you could buy the shit that you want, so you could have freedom, so you don't have to work for anybody else, you don't have anybody, you don't have to, like, she doesn't go to a job every day. Now, she does do stuff in the business still, and she does support the business, but she's not killing it every day. She's not working every day. She has freaking freedom. She takes the kids to school in the morning, she goes and works out, and then the rest of the day she does whatever she wants to do.
Wow.
That's total freedom. And we never have to worry about money. But I sold her on that from day one, really.
So when you guys were getting started, how did you guys complement each other?
Well, I mean, I was in the field, so I was the caveman. So I went out and I was the hunter, man. I mean, I wrote the sales, I recruited the people, I prospected, I did all that. And she did the paperwork. And even today, she helps out. I do a lot of the stuff, and she finishes filling it out, and she submits it for me, and kind of tries to make my life a little bit easier. She's, she cooks it. She cooks I kill it, and then she cooks it, and that's kind of how we've supported each other, because we're different personalities. She has a completely different personality from me. She's an executive. She's she's very detail oriented. She makes sure that things are taken care of, things are, submitted, and, follows up on things and all that.
So is it safe to say that by you guys working together and combining your strengths, your business was able to grow even faster?
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was by myself, I think we made $25,000. When she got in, we went to $100,000 in income. So it was like an immediate, when she went full time, things just ramped up. Because why? Because I was doing everything by myself. But once I had help, it made all the difference.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my income, and look, and a lot of people, they say, well, I don't have a spouse, or I don't have a partner. Well, hire somebody, man. You can't do everything by yourself. You got to delegate.
Right.
Look, prospecting takes time. Writing sales takes time. I
Following
can't.
up takes
Following
time.
up takes time. You know, I can't do all that
Right.
crap and all the rest of the stuff, right? Paperwork and administrative stuff, and client stuff, and sending out thank you notes and all that kind of stuff. That takes time. I don't have time to do that. So I got to have somebody else to help me do some of these other things.
I love that because you're focusing on your strength.
That's it.
And you're delegating the rest, so like that gets taken care of. Because me myself, like, I don't like doing paperwork. I don't love doing the thank you notes or none of that. So I know that if somebody else takes care of it, they're gonna do it with love and passion.
That's it.
And by your wife doing it, I believe that was her passion. She
Right.
loves doing that, connecting with people in
That's
that
it.
in that level.
Yeah.
And you're the hunter. You're the one that goes out there and kills.
Right.
That's awesome, man. Because that's been able to help you exponentially grow yourself and your business.
That's it.
So how is what do you guys do for fun, like with you and your family? How has this financial freedom created freedom for you guys to travel? Do you guys travel anywhere? Where some places that you guys have gone that you guys have loved?
Well, I mean, we've been everywhere, man. I mean, I've traveled to so many different states, so many different countries. And
how beautiful is that to experience that with your families and to give your
Yeah.
kids that opportunity to see?
It's amazing. I mean, we were in Italy,
Wow.
not too long ago, and we were able to travel to all types of different cities in Italy and eat the great food. And we stayed at a winery, and there was a pool house there, and incredible views. You got up in the morning, and you just nothing but vineyards. And we've been to so many tropical places, Hawaii a million times, and the Bahamas, and Cabo, and all these different places. And so I just think that no matter what it is that you like to do, whatever the hobbies are, like right now I like to play golf. I've been playing a lot of golf lately, and so it's something that I love to do. It's something I like to do, and so I go do it, and that's it. And matter of fact, I'm actually playing at that country club on tomorrow, actually, that I used to overlook.
Wow.
From my job where I was making $7 an hour.
Now you're playing in the
now I'm
country club.
playing at the country club. Matter of fact, I'm playing there because they want me to join the country. So I might even join that country club. So imagine that, right? I was on one side of the fence 20 years ago, and 20 years later, I'm on the other side of the fence, totally transforming my life forever, And so, but anyways, man, I mean, you have no idea what could happen with diligence and focus and courage and passion and determination, man. You don't even know what's possible. And again, I could spend the next hour telling you about all of our great trips that we've taken as a family, and even trips that I've taken on my own. I like to travel places that I sometimes wouldn't take my family. I've been to South Africa, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Thailand, some places that she didn't want to go. And but I've had so many amazing experiences, all because I decided to get financially free. And all the while, I've never had to worry about money. I've never struggled financially. I've never paid a finance charge on a credit card, believe it or not, all these years. And like I told you, I live in a $3 million home, and my mortgage is $1,800 a month.
I was shocked when you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it's just freedom, man. Freedom and choices and options. That's it.